what about our obligation if another dedicated Christian chooses a course contrary to the moral standards set by Jehovah? Brother Josh Sable, elder from the Paramus, New Jersey congregation, will consider the next part of the symposium, loyally uphold Jehovah's judgment, shun unrepentant wrongdoers.
Superglue is used to hold all sorts of interesting things together, from dinosaur bones to the broken pieces of your favorite knick-knack. 7 drops are strong enough to lift a car, and 1 drop's strong enough and does a pretty good job at gluing your fingers together, as I found out rehearsing. But despite its amazing properties, superglue has an archenemy: acetone. Something as simple as fingernail polish remover has the power to weaken or to dissolve its bond. Our program thus far has done a wonderful job helping us to appreciate the potential for an even greater bond, loving attachment to our Creator, Jehovah God. But in His infinite wisdom, Jehovah knows that there are corrupting influences, both physical and spiritual, that have the potential to weaken that connection between Him and His loyal servants. That's precisely why Jehovah gave the law to Moses, to protect His people so that that bond could retain its strength. And some of those laws certainly did put the Israelites' loyalty to the test. At 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 11 to 13, and let's look that up together. Jehovah warns you and I about a specific threat to our loyalty, one that has the potential to challenge the very limits of our devotion. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, beginning with verse 11. But now I am writing you to stop keeping company with anyone called a brother who is sexually immoral, or a greedy person, or an idolater, or a reviler, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, not even eating with such a man. For what do I have to do with judging those outside? Do you not judge those inside, while God judges those outside? Remove the wicked person from among yourselves. Jehovah has made it crystal clear that contact and exposure to unrepentant wrongdoers can and will significantly weaken our relationship with Him. Some in Satan's permissive world may view disfellowshipping as extreme or drastic or harsh. While it is a strong measure, it certainly has its benefits. It keeps Jehovah's organization morally clean and His name from reproach. It also protects you and I from bad associates, including messages that apostates and others have used to spread wrong ideas. And disfellowshipping very well may help the sinner to return to Jehovah. But loyal Christians would not associate with anyone called a brother who is practicing serious sin. In fact, this is true even if no congregation action has been taken, as may be the case with an inactive one. This can be especially challenging when it comes to a family member, when it involves somebody we love. The tensile strength of our loyalty to Jehovah can be put to the test. However, we must not allow strong family ties to compromise loyalty to Jehovah and to His organization. In the dramatization that follows, note how loyalty results in a blessing.
Looking back, my parents tried hard to do the right thing, to do things Jehovah's way. But because I didn't have a hatred for what's bad, I couldn't see anything wrong with my choices. This eventually led me to do things I later regretted. I ended up getting disfellowshipped.
Sonia Erickson has been disfellowshipped.
It crushed my whole family.
Okay, to continue the meeting, we may remember last month's
Later, my father explained to me that I couldn't remain in the home because I refused to change my lifestyle. He told me I was having a negative effect on my younger brother and sister. Then I'm out of this house. I was determined to do what I wanted. When I left home that day, all I could think about was Eric. I didn't even care that my parents' hearts were breaking. I didn't think about the devastation and disappointment that I had caused them. I blamed my parents for my situation. I even blamed Jehovah. My family missed me so much, even after all I had done. What helped them to remain loyal to Jehovah for the many years I was disfellowshipped? It was the Bible account of Aaron. Jehovah directly judged 2 of Aaron's sons and put them to death. In this case, Jehovah asked Aaron and his family not to mourn, in order to show the entire nation that they supported Jehovah's judgment. Mom and Dad saw that they needed to be loyal, just like Aaron. They loved me and wanted me to come back to Jehovah. I tried to contact them. I just wanted to talk and to hear their voice. I missed being with my family. And they thought about reaching out to me. But they knew that if they had associated with me, even a little, just to check on me, that small dose of association might have satisfied me. It could have made me think that there was no need to return to Jehovah.
Did a loved one come to your mind? Those who have had a family member disfellowship likened it to the deepest hurt that they've ever experienced. They describe a cascade of emotions ranging from frustration to negativity to just simply feeling overwhelmed. If you've ever experienced this sort of heartbreak, please know that Jehovah understands the exquisite pain associated with losing a family member. When Adam rebelled, Jehovah was devastated. His word reminds us that he felt hurt at his heart. His reaction to Israel's rebellion also gives us some keen insight into how he might have felt when some of his spirit sons joined the devil in rebellion. The Bible doesn't hold back in its use of descriptive language. In fact, in Psalm 78, we read that Jehovah again was grieved and deeply hurt, and that the situation brought him tremendous pain. Yet Jehovah is not controlled by sentimentality. He severely disciplined the Israelites, and he took swift action against the wicked spirits to protect the rest of his spiritual family. Disfellowshipping can be painful discipline, but there is a purpose for it. This purpose is beautifully illustrated for us at Hebrews 12:11. As we look that up together, I'd like you to think about a flower, the lilac, one of the first and most fragrant flowers of spring. Hebrews 12:11 reminds us, true, no discipline seems for the present to be joyous, but it is painful. Yet afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Did you know that it's a pronounced cold snap in the dead of winter that triggers the lilac to bud and bloom come spring? Those frigid temperatures do something deep inside that plant to heighten its sweet fragrance and to enhance the beauty of that cluster of flowers. When we look around Jehovah's organization, some of the most beautiful and sweet-smelling Christians are those who have allowed this internal process or this chill of discipline to make significant changes in their thinking and conduct. The result is nothing short of spectacular. Let each of us be resolved to let nothing undermine the effectiveness of Jehovah's discipline. Remember that loyalty to Jehovah is the glue that holds our spiritual life together, so let nothing, even the improper course of a disfellowship family member, weaken that bond. But what should we do when someone repents and changes course? Brother Ernest Curry Sr., an elder from the Elmwood East Orange congregation, will now consider the final part of this symposium: loyally uphold Jehovah's judgments. Be forgiving.